Alright everybody, Reggie Edwards, the Front Row Report here. It is Wednesday, February 26th, and I have the one and only Peter Furler on the phone today. Peter, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today. I appreciate it.
No worries, Reggie. Thanks for your time.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good to have you on the phone again. We talked about 2 years ago around this time, right before you did Winter Jam in Indianapolis. And that was a great show. And you're about to hit the road again tomorrow with Skillet, Third Day, Jamie Grace, and We As Human. Great lineup. How do you feel about being on this tour? And what do you do to get ready for a tour like this?
Well, you know, I feel great about being on it. I love all the bands that are on it. It's obviously a great, ticket for folks to come see, because you get a whole different range of acts and artists, and I don't do that many shows these days, so it's fun to get out. For me, I just tune up the guitar and pick the songs I want to play and put a bunch in there and just kind of see how it goes. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, this lineup. There's a lot of bands that have been in the game for quite a while now. Yourself, you're a veteran of the Christian music industry. Skillet, Third Day. Do you have any memories of some of the tours with other bands? And what does spending time on the road with some of these specific artists mean to you?
Well, probably one story I can think of is when Third Day first started out, the Newsboys, who I was singing with at the time, I believe it was around about sometime in the mid-90s, Third Day was starting out, so the Newsboys had Third Day open up for them, and we kind of gave them their first break.
Nice.
So we've remained good friends through the years. They're great guys, and with my solo gigs, I've done quite a few shows with them and got to jump on stage and play some tunes with them. So it's been fun. It's good to look back and good to, to have long-lasting relationships. It's a joy.
Awesome. Yeah, you mentioned that you don't do a whole lot of shows these days. What do you do with your spare time? I know you're still very active in the Christian music industry. You got a new record coming out next month, which will be your sophomore record, Sun and Shield. What have you been doing with your time these days?
Well, I've been in the studio a lot. I kind of use my time off the road in the studio more, so I'm able, to be able to create more music and work on more projects. Right now, I kind of have two in the burner, and one of them's a solo record, actually a band record with my band. That comes out March 11th.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Sun and Shield, and folks can pre-order it now on iTunes and Amazon and Family Christian and all that stuff. And then the other project is I've been playing drums in another band with my buddy Steve Taylor, and that band's Steve Taylor and the Perfect Foil, and so we've been working on that for a little while too, so I get to get on the drums again. It's been fun. Awesome.
I was going to ask, because when the Newsboys first started, you were the drummer, and then you switched to frontman, and I was going to ask if you've had a chance to get back behind the drum kit at some point, and that's going to be really cool to hear, Peter Furler hitting the drums once again. How did it feel to get back behind the kit? It
felt great. It felt great. It was it was very pure, and we went in to make a record, and obviously I'm just going in this time as kind of a songwriter and a drummer, and so I didn't have to really do a lot of the vocals, and so I just enjoyed, we didn't have a big record deal or management or anything, so we just went in, 4 guys, Jimmy Abeck, John Painter, and Steve Taylor and myself, guys that I really look up to and think they're the best in the industry, and so we just started making music that we loved, no big agenda except just to make it good. And so that's going to be finished fairly soon, probably out in April sometime, hopefully.
Awesome. And you mentioned Sun and Shield is releasing March 11th. It is your sophomore solo record, following up On Fire, which came out a couple of years ago. What can you tell me about Sun and Shield as a musical whole, and how have you been able? What was it like to follow up On Fire, which did amazingly well?
Well, I didn't think about following anything up. I just started, I did what I've always done. I just kind of made music that I love and did the best I could. And so Sun and Shield, folks can hear a bit of it on peterfurler.com. There's snippets there. I kind of, with this one, being a band project, I treated it more that way, where I just went in with, and made it very raw, very organic. So just kind of tried to capture a moment as opposed to trying to enhance it with software and sort of computer trickery. It's just really very minimal, and just making sure the songs were strong and great tunes and melodies and lyrics and organically, it's really about bass, drums, and guitar. There wasn't a lot of, excess for the majority of the record. So I really wanted it. Live, the band is just a three-piece band, and we don't use any kind of pre-recorded tracks or any of that stuff.
Right.
It's live, and so we wanted the record to keep that as well, so we could produce it live.
Okay. Awesome. So the record is releasing mid-tour, which to me it's always interesting when a band or artist record releases during a tour instead of right after or right before. How exciting is it to you to have an album release during a tour that you're going to be able to be promoting? Will you be able to play any of the songs from the new record on the tour? What is that going to be like for you?
It's great because you kind of, I can remember when I wrote the song Shine for the Newsboys, and we played that song out before the record, came out, and the song kind of didn't do that well. We were really disappointed, and so there's these, and then later on it obviously becomes a kind of a CCM classic, and so on this tour I'll be playing out a couple of songs that are off the record. Obviously I have to play the hits, a couple of hits that I wrote with the Newsboys, but on this tour I'll be definitely putting in some new songs that folks haven't heard before. And so far I've done these songs live a couple of times, and they go great, which is really, it's encouraging, I think. And so, and also at all these shows I'll have hard copies of the new CD, so these folks will be the first people on the planet to get it, so have access to it. So that's exciting too.
Nice. Even on the shows before the record is releasing, like tomorrow and then in Indy on Friday, folks will be able to pick up that record before it's released to the public. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, which I think is really cool. Because you just, I don't know, it makes it more, special, and they're able to get it a few weeks before everybody else can. So it's cool.
Awesome. Finally, obviously, On Fire was your first project away from the Newsboys, which you had an amazing career with. Looking back, now that we're ready to release Sun and Shield, looking back on Fire, what really stands out to you about that record?
I think it felt like I was still running on the same fuel that I had run on in the past. Not that that's a bad thing. It was just that was just noticeable to me on Fire. This record feels, and none of it's been completely deliberate, I don't think. But this one felt like I've been able to stretch my wings a little bit more as a soloist, and I don't know. The first On Fire had a lot of kind of habits, production-wise, and just treatments that I'd used through the years, tricks, whatever I don't even know if the tricks would be the right word, just, habits is probably the right word that I've used through the years.
Same processes, kind of? Yeah,
process is probably a good word, and this one I went in with a process I haven't done since I was a teenager.
Oh, wow.
Just going in and kind of very raw and very not trying to, I don't know, it wasn't not trying to do anything, it was just really certain rules, in the studio of just, let's keep this organic and raw, and let's make it something that three guys can produce live, and it's a bit more risky, I think, and we'll see, but it doesn't, we'll hopefully Tom, but I think over the long haul people will really appreciate this record, even more so.
Awesome. Well, hey, Peter, I really, really want to thank you for taking time to talk to me today. Looking forward to the show on Friday in Indianapolis. Second date of the tour kicks off tomorrow in Ohio. It should be a great run. It should be a great tour, and looking forward to seeing it. Looking forward to seeing you again, sir.
Thanks, Reggie. Appreciate you and appreciate all you do, and cheers.
Awesome. You too. We'll see you Friday.
Thanks, mate. Okay, bye-bye.
See ya.